Welcome back, friends. Lost Guy Friend. It's time for more The Greatest Attorney, and guess what? So I looked him up. I should have done that earlier. This guy... Soseki Natsume. He's a famous novelist from real life. This guy's real. This guy is real. And he wrote a book called I Am a Cat. So that's why he said I Am a Cat. So, we're gonna get book references to a guy we've never heard of. Well, I've never heard of. If you've heard of him, good for you. But this is a real person, so it's really weird to have a real person in this game. Like, everyone else isn't real. Except this guy. Single-minded approach and a great level of proficiency. This is the only guy that's real in this game, as far as I know. The only actual person in real life. What is he doing here? So it's like, oh hey, did you know there was this famous novelist from this time period? Education, kids. Education. I guess that's what it is. It's just a way to educate the children that this guy existed in time. But it's not like you're gonna know. You play this game and you don't think to look up any names. You're not gonna know this guy was real. So it's just so weird to just implant a real person. It's just so weird. I will see if I remember this guy's voice later, because we're out of here. The Briar Road. Scene of the crime. So we're gonna probably run into Sholmes here. Sholmes? 19th of February. Briar Road. Cops. Snowman. Snowman did it. So this is where it happened. Briar Road. Ah, look, Mr. Naruto. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruto, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. To real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Hee, of course. I have to try one day. Please tell me we see her wearing one. Well, I hope your Hattie dream comes true. Fish and chips. Was that supposed to be a fish? I thought that was bread. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. This isn't on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware. They're lawyers. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells, then? So what do you make of this criminal? That looks like bread to me. You tell me that's supposed to be a fishy? A fried fish? Because there's the chips. That looks like bread. I'm gonna say it's bread. Listen to that bread crunch he's making. Although I guess fried fish would also make a bread crunch. No, that's bread. He's a vegetarian. He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. Heh. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Racism! Look at the background. William Robbins. Fractal Octician. Just look at the background. Oh, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion. The stone cold air of rejection. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. Again, with the psychic reading. That makes it worse somehow. Actually, our guy did... Ryunosuke did say, did they read my mind at one point, so he is thinking, not whispering. Horse! Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush the crime scenes and cart away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then. But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it. Wouldn't it? Yeah, that's the joke. Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. Oh my god! No! I wasn't serious. Girl, I need you not arrested? Snowman! Hee hee! What a delightful snowman! I didn't realize that English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy, though. Oh, it has a scarf. Look! You'd need one if you were out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment, too. We certainly can't afford a scarf. Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss us. But the person who made the snowman certainly would. Again! Reading his mind! Yes, I know, you're right anyway. Even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. Okay, look at Guy last. Ooh, dang, that bike took a hit. Oh, a British bicycle, look! Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Strand Street. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. I bet Shums did it. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. The bicycle fad... The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. The ancestor of Phoenix saying that, when all Phoenix does is ride a bike. Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and falling into a river, I know you'd agree with me. Have you done that? We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. You riding bitch, Ryunosuke? That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. We must find some cheap lodging ourselves as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. Oh, okay, let's see. What's this? What's this? What's this? What? Oh, look at the windows of that building there. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're all filled in with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's empty property where nobody lives at the moment. There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Oh dear. Everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. That was a raging clue? Yeah, so these guys. That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all. Alright, what have I not seen? Street, okay. There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks. It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow. I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead. Oh, but you're rather small, Miss Naruhodo, and dressed all in black. I wore a coachman might not see you, and you could be flattened by horses. Well, thank you for a rather small concern. For the rather small concern. I guess we can see this guy? No, he's... okay. Well then... oh. Ah, the warding off. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it? That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi, what are you foreigners doing here? Ah! Oh, we just missing a scene. Conspiring with that mustache fella from Japan, are you? It's time for racism. Conspiring? Come here to destroy evidence, have you? Yeah, before I give you a unit. Go on. Yes, okay, I'm gonna give this guy a bad voice. He shooed us away like rats. Yes, we should give him a wide berth, I think. What a disappointing experience. Okay, so if we've seen everything, I assume Holmes is gonna appear somewhere. Not yet? Okay, what have we not seen? What have we not seen? Oh, the smoke. The clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? With the dense fog as well, everything looks hazy. Oh wait, could I have talked to what's his name? Well, it's known as Foggy London Town. I can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built, though. Aha, yes. That must be the Crystal Tower, being built for the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. You hear her just pat her hand? Nice touch to have her do that sound effect. Apparently it's going to be very striking. Blazed on all sides, and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. This will be the largest exposition in history, isn't it? I can't even begin to imagine it. I assume we're supposed to talk to Guy to convince him to let us. Yeah, I forgot I could talk to him. Scotland Yard! Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty to protect the city. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Being in London, Bobby is hard going, I can tell you. Oh really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work. What? He wakes people up? Yep. Raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself, going back a bit. Had no idea. Guess the first one's to rise, gotta rise everyone else. But Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. 20 miles a day. At the walking pace people do about 2-3 miles an hour. Yeah, it'd take the whole damn day to do it. Be covering about 2 miles an hour if he's going at a leisurely stroll. Jeez. Let me see. Also, wouldn't English not be going by miles? They'd be going by meters or whatever? I don't know. What do you guys go by? Let me see. 20 miles? That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. Oh my. I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well? And chase after criminals trying to evade the law. This is why cars are helpful. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, more alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle these jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish the dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo. What? Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. What is that even mean? Alright. About the case. Oh, I get it. It happened at around 5 in the evening, 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right that the lady's still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's been treated in the hospital. I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Chips in pocket. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's Yard's policy to give lawyers, defendants, suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted this job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. The local map has been entered into the courtroom. Take a look at that in a sec. Anyway, as far as we know, there has no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head-scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure. How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. It what? We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less. Couldn't those witnesses have been the killer, then? Ah! It was a typically foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. There were witnesses now? There were witnesses now? Could one of the witnesses been the killer, then? Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. Oh, that's the problem. He's a copper from Scotland Yard. Ah! A policeman? That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked? Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being our Bobby. Capturing him banging the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh! I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's that, then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me about that too. I'm a dick. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to this suspect. I hear that was Mr. Herlock Sholmes? What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The color is drained from his cheeks. Sholmes. Tomorrow's trial first. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? Well, makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? That's more racist. There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though. Also, obviously, Soseki Natsume cannot die here, because he needs to go become a famous novelist. Sorry? The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now. Yes, we did hear something to that effect. And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminals, the violent ones. The master criminals? The violent ones? That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely? That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. But this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into. For want of a better phrase. He is a Dracula. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of the Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself for tomorrow's trial. We're really going to have to face the Reaper again. The Lord of Darkness, as he put it. Sholmesy! Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Fiddle faddle! The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime. Wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gibble dabble! Huh? Ever seen this before? Oh yes, that's Rant's magazine. We showed him that we saw this before. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees it fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Sholmes tale at all. Well, I suppose there is an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be trumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at the Yard as he is to our criminals. That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Crushing my infinite chips! Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yeah. Well, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. Yeah. Sholmesy. By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address, even... It's Baker Street! Okay, they kept Baker Street, okay. How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street. The most famous address in the world. I thought it was 321 Baker Street. Alright, well, I was wrong. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We'd better try to find our way there before Sasato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. Hooray! I'll summon a carriage. Isn't she more predictable? What she wants to do? So we're to have a reunion already. With the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. It's been 2 days, hasn't it? Wait. They arrived 2 days ago, which means this crime happened as they arrived, and Sherlock immediately went to this case right when he got off the boat, because Sherlock was on the boat too. Huh. Ain't that something? Let's just move. New location has been added. Can we really visit, do you think? Oh, pinch me, I'm sure I must be dreaming. 321B Baker Street, the home and office of the most famous detective in the world. Oh, cutscene.
Thank you very much.
It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock's showers.
I know I shouldn't be one to judge, but I am not feeling Ryunosuke's voice. Here we are. I assume there's references to a bunch of cases in here that I do not know or remember. 19th February, 12:53 p.m., Sholmes' suite. But this is where the great detective makes his living. Feels surreal to be here somehow. Violin. There's tubes. There's a beaker. There's a flask. There's no beaker, there's a flask. What the hell's that supposed to be? Some sort of engine machine? Globe? Bullet holes up there? Okay, like them on here. Is it as described in the stories, Mrs. Sato? Sasato-san? Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down in unlit London Street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, I suppose I can, yeah. So if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me. Ha! She's obsessed. Well, looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. I guess we broke in! Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? In regular voice, do we see who it is? I assume, I have an assumption, but... Oh, do we have a visitor? I was right, it's her! Oh, do we have a visitor? Oh, well. Is it a big new case for Mrs. Sholmes? Well... Wait! Aren't you... Oh, how of me. I'll go and make some tea at once. Okay, what is that calculation over there? Okay. I'm sure it's the same girl. Mrs. Sato, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. The King of Bohemia where? King Willem Kostrich Sigismund von Ormstein, of course. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventure of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there. It's a little girl. Petit's wood, and I have a freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you. I knew it. Sasato-san recognizes her too. It's the little girl. Ah, there you are. I really flashback to something we just saw like an hour ago. And taking it with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial of one of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilden's trial in the defendant's antechamber. I never met a warrior from the Far East before. Or you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. Oh yes, it was challenging. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. Thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color? Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Oh wait, it's a winner. I tried blending different weaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend the Japanese men. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. She knows way too much. Did Mr. Shelms tell you about this by any chance? Oh, you know Harley too? Do you? Well, how does she not know that part? How do you know all of that but that part? How do you know everything else but that part? Question. Is that just bad writing? Is that just bad writing? She knows they were on a voyage. She knows they just did a case yesterday. They're doing another case today. She knows a lot of stuff. But not that they've met Sholmes. Because it would have been, she got it from Sholmes, you would have guessed. But no, apparently she's just smart herself. But how did she not know? Whatever, go, move on. Oh, you know Hurley, do you? Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you? Surely? Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? That's my question. Did she deduce all those things, do you think? And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? I'm a widow girl. I swear to God if she's 23. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here with Harry. I live here together with Harry. Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with Sasato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Wunu. Got it. Susie? And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her, I don't know where to be start. Yes, and so do I. Everyone's a psychic. Talk to the widow... Okay, present our badge to the widow girl. Actually, I haven't looked at this yet. Let me look at this. Briar Road, Calabash Road, Mershcombe Street. I feel like these are references. Show her the armband. Iris, can I show you this? Oh, how exciting. What is it? Tell me all about it. Oh, actually, I was hoping you might be able to tell me something about it, if anything comes to mind. Why would it? Well, no, I suppose it wouldn't. Tell me. I want to hear everything. This hasn't gone according to plan. Show her the map? This helps me. Okay. I don't know, I would try to show it to me. Whatever. Okay, let's go. Conversation. Talk to a little girl. Or should I look her? No, I just talk to her first. Iris. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey? Yes, yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Like this? Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Guinea. Yeah, she's a professional pickpocket. So we found out. It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Are you referring to that Tron disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. This girl's dangerous. Anyway, I brought Guinea back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician? Oh, Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yes, Herlock. Herlock Sholmes. We live here together. I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. Duh, no likely. What? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Some people call Homer Homer instead of Dad. Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. Your roommates? I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year. Oh my god, she's 10. Okay. Court record. This is the only person who matches their age. A little 10-year-old girl. Well, look at the... This man's 58. I don't give... No, he's 58. 44. Like, I'll look like this guy in 20 years. This guy's not 33 years old. 44. Like, this guy and this guy are hella old. This man is 52 somehow. I want to look like that in 52. 16. Widow girl. Yeah, it's the only one that matches their age is little girl. The only one. The only one is a widow girl. That's it. Maybe Strongheart. Tana West is here. Well, what of your mother and father? Oh no, they're not around. Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Wilson. Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course, go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Wayne's magazine. Yes, I have read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories? That's right. Holly is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They're really quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Last night he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. And somehow neglecting to mention the Japanese people in it. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author? Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call this crazy adventure the Speckled Band. The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar, but has nothing to do with the case, and when you think about it. Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. So she changed the details a little bit. Alright. Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually. So they're putting that the actual stories are in this universe. That's a lot of embellishing. Knowing what that story actually is, that's a lot of embellishing. Because that case number 2, completely just tore to pieces what she's gonna write. Yes, and of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more flowing, I think, don't you? Here's a 10-year-old. So do you mean to say, are the stories of Mr. Sholmes that are published in Brent's magazine? All written by me? Yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine. Dr. John H. Wilson. Son's getting more and more worked up. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true too. I am a doctor of medicine. No, at 10 years old? At 10 years old? Well, that's quite incredible. I figured she'd be the daughter or the niece of Mr. Wilson, who died in Japan in Case 1. But apparently that guy's just a reference. But But Dr. Wilson's English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. No one will read a story about a little girl. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow? There it is. I suppose it does, doesn't it? Yes. Poor Sasada-san. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart. Never meet your heroes, people. Actually, mine are great. The ones I've met. Your deductions just now. About before. Yes? What's on your mind, Iwuno? You tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? Yes, oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? She'd know some of that already, but I know that for you. Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted, although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Alice Wilson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. She gets one too? Alright, let's go. It's like, oh god, we're doing this? Hey, what's on her hand? First of all, I knew already that you are a lawyer, Mr. Wuno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. But you also said that we just arrived in London. How did you know that? I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh. I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. On top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor. Tell me you are unaware of London's court affairs. Yeah, what's on her hand? The Reaper of the Bailey? I walked right into that one, didn't I? I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. Oh, really? Huh. Would have liked it if the game told us that she got stamped. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on coming and going, you see. I didn't realize. And a white stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So that told me that even though you had only visited yesterday to conclude the trial of Magnus McGillicuddy, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. Well, however, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? I made a guess. Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Harry solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he'd caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. Feels kind of dick to laugh about that. A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been... Well, then again, yeah, if you think they're the criminal, you have the high ground to laugh at them. Mr. Natsume! Now, Wano has that fancy Japanese song. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. Alright, so this is how he solves his cases, because she made no mistakes! Except that they haven't accepted the case yet. That's it! There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his notes with a knife. You know, he is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Miles Wilson. That was one of my great deductions. I like that she didn't miss a beat while Shelms makes mistakes. Huh. Huh. Ah. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You managed to certain something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh well, I was just copying how we style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese men. You will, won't you, Iris? Please? No. The case of the Japanese men. We'll do this, then we're gonna stop. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying? Yeah. Harry had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. But the police were waiting for him on the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems. Apparently a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. The witnesses had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking, stooped man? You Asians are not very tall. Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. Saseki-san said he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all. Harry used his great detective powers to determine the man's address. There was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stooped man, shivering in fear. Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He's a great detective. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely. I had no time to investigate properly. Harry says that London is rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why I can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying to criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. Ouch. And there's no black people to blame, so they gotta blame the Japanese guy. He was actually there. That's terrible. Every time I think about the innocent men who got sent to jail in America, it's messed up. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Saseki-san. Son. That's sad, it's on. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about his case as well. Oh, well. I expect Harry is still investigating the scene. Oh, the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Harry said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Oh, goody. In that case, give Gregson this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? A 5-shilling piece on a postcard, it seems. Iris's postcard has been entered into the court record. It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." Or you're getting a bazooka to the face. Oh no, considering how tall Iris is, it's a bazooka to the dick. Just point blank, boom! That would suck. Gosh, this won't make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Good luck, then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special blends of tea. So come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruto, it's back to the scene of the crime. I will stop there. So it was somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with our curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. To be continued? Yep! Alright, that's a perfect stopping point. Well, look at that. Well, look at that right there. Save in progress. Ding! Alright, there you go. So that's it for now. I had fun. Hope you had fun watching. That's what's all about it. Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.